Today, I create a moment for us to focus on a pivotal key, a key that unlocks the repetitive cycle of birth and death, a key that breaks one from karmic chains of earthly existence and opens us into the higher realms, known as the Kingdom of Heaven in the West and Svarga Loka in the East. There are many things that bind one into this realm for thousands, if not millions of lifetimes, human and other. Let's address what these traps of reincarnation are. Unfulfilled desires of the ego. If when one arrives to the end of their life and is filled with regrets over all the things they wish they could have done, they will return to experience those things. There needs to be a sense of completion within the being. Something like, I came here and I did everything I wanted to do. My mission is complete. When one holds that frequency vibration, one will be in alignment and ready to adventure and explore other realms of existence if one has also done the work to spiritually evolve their spirits. Beings out of alignment with the divine, the creator of all. There are 4 types of people that do not surrender to the divine. And those 4 types are the ignorant, the deluded, those whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and those of demonic nature. The mode of ignorance is the darkest and most deluding. It arises from negligence, laziness, and sleep, dragging the being into a state of inertia and confusion. Those dominated by tamas are shrouded in darkness, unable to see the truth or make progress on the spiritual path. This is why they're often so confused, they just can't see clearly. This mode binds the being with apathy and ignorance, leading to segregation and spiritual stagnation. Beings in the mode of darkness are bound by material desires and do not seek higher truth. Purification of action. Action done from a place of attachment to the outcome of one's action is another binding factor for beings caught into the reincarnation cycle. To quote the Bhagavad Gita, without attachments to the outcomes, whether success or failure, one rises above the dualities of this world. To act with purpose, but without attachment. To remain steadfast in one's duty, yet free from the desires and fears that bind others. When one's actions are guided by wisdom and not by the desire of reward, one attains true peace and fulfillment. Abandon attachment, but not action. Perform your duty with the pure heart, and do not be swayed by the outcome. You will attain spiritual freedom beyond karma. You act with dedication, but you remain unattached to success or failure, praise or criticism. This is renunciation in the mode of goodness, which purifies the spirit and leads to liberation. Actions are performed as an offering to God. As a side note, I will be addressing the New Age philosophy that one can simply incarnate at will and can also choose to incarnate at will into higher realms of existence. This is a severe illusion, excusing laziness of spiritual discipline and fortitude. There is so much more to dispel about this one illusion in the New Age philosophy that I will be addressing in a future video. The only beings that actually choose to incarnate here at will are those that are known as the Ascended Masters. I call them Descendant Masters because they are in fact descending from higher realms into this plane of existence. They do so to illuminate and to catapult the consciousness upward, also to set examples and to dispel illusions. This is a tiny, tiny fraction of the population. The majority of us are here because we still have to grow and evolve our spirits beyond the frequency and consciousness of this realm. Actions to access the key of incarnation into higher planes of existence. Performing austerities. The austerities of speech involve using words that are truthful, inoffensive, and beneficial to others. Words that evolve, not devolve. The austerities of the mind include serenity of thought, gentleness, silence, self-control, and purity of purpose. When the mind is disciplined in this way, free from selfish desires, and filled with noble intentions, it aligns with the mode of goodness, fostering inner peace and spiritual growth. Focus on the purity of your intention. To practice yoga, translated from Sanskrit, meaning to unite with the divine, one must seek seclusion, away from distractions, and create a sanctified seat, a place where the mind can be purified through meditation, while maintaining a stable and centered posture. Meditation and self-control are means to know the divine. In meditation, the mind becomes still. With self-control, the senses are restrained, allowing the being to connect with the divine on a deeper level. These practices, along with devotion, leads to the highest realization of God's divine nature. Devotion. When one performs their actions without attachments to the results, when one renounces the fruits of one's labor, and frees oneself from selfishness and egotism, one purifies their heart and mind. This is the path that pleases God and leads to liberation. Quoting the Bhagavad Gita, "Fix your mind on me, let your intellect dwell in me, and you will always live in me, no matter where you are or what you face." This is connecting with our fractal essence of the divine within. These keys are really related to the moksha houses in astrology, the 4th, 8th, and 12th house. These are pivotal houses in order to unlock moksha, which is enlightenment. I offer guidance through astrology, lifestyle purification, and esoteric wisdom, providing a structured path for authentic spiritual growth called Aligning with Divinity. I'll leave the link below if you're interested. The one who gives up material desires and lives without a sense of proprietorship or egotism attains perfect peace. They are content with themselves, finding joy and spiritual connection with the Supreme, no longer troubled by life's dualities, the ups and downs, pleasure and pain, gain and loss, success and failure. They live in the eternal now, fully absorbed in the divine, attaining the peace that transcends understanding. Those who worship the divine with knowledge, steadfast and devoted, are considered the highest. After many births of spiritual practice, a soul endowed with true knowledge surrenders to the divine, realizing that the Creator is the ultimate truth. Such a soul is rare and precious. There are deeper characteristics too sacred to share publicly. These I will reserve for my private association on my website. I would also like to clarify that when I say to give up material desires, I'm not speaking about our basic necessities to be able to take care of ourselves and our families. This doesn't mean to stop eating food. I know some people will think in a more extreme sense. This is having to do with the Andrew Tates, who is like, I want a Bugatti and I want a penthouse. And it's, you know, he recently, someone had sent me a video that he sent, and they were like, is Andrew Tate having a spiritual awakening? And he was talking about how he goes and he achieves all of these material possessions. And it's like this hunt and this chase. And once he attains it, it's like he feels nothing. So it's like the goalpost moves back. And I think that's a perfect example of what I'm speaking about, relinquishing material desires. It has nothing to do with basic sustenance but rather these outlandish material possessions like watches and, you know, all of these things that are like, for example, like 3-4 penthouses that are just sit there because it feeds and it boosts the ego in such a way that's never going to lead to a permanent satisfaction. It's never going to lead to anything that is real and at the core of our being. Those are all ego hits, and it's like a drug. It wears off, and you can really clearly see that in the Andrew Tate video, so check it out. The path of light is the way of knowledge, devotion, and righteousness. Those who follow this path live with their hearts and minds fixed on the divine. They practice self-control, meditation, and lifelong service to others, humanity. When this life ends, they ascend to higher realms. The dark path leads to ignorance and attachment. Because of their anxieties and desires, those who take this path remain imprisoned in the endless cycle of life and death. I hope this video began to really untangle and move within you a lot of these attachments that can leave you feeling so restless and unsatisfied, and really analyzing, observing, and questioning them and their integrity. This is also a reminder, if you are a being wanting to ascend this plane of existence that is filled with disease, corruption, I mean, utter insanity. We can just clearly say that at this point. And this is a beautiful realm. When I speak of nature, it is also ruthless, and everything has a birth and a decay. There is nothing immortal in this realm. Everything is subject to an up and down, left and right. So I encourage you to set your sights higher if you thought that this earth was it, because it in fact is not. In fact, in Vedic scripture, this is actually the 7th plane. They describe 14 realms, planes of existence, and Earth is actually right in the middle between the 7 realms below and then the realms above. That's why this is such a battleground place. We have above our realm the first pure goodly realm. These are the beginning of the heavenly realms. And then below this realm is the first of the hellish realms. So that's why it's so intense here and so dualistic, because we have beings wanting to ascend us and bring us into higher states of awareness, consciousness, and living, and at the same time opposing demonic entities wanting to bring us down into their realms of hellish pain and torture. I'm sending you all so much warmth, and I will see you in the next video.